Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, we shall be discussing The Shy with season 6, episode 3, aka the house party, apparently. And people getting down, enjoying themselves, or whatever, So a lot of things happening. But Kim, where you want to start with this episode? Positive. What positive thing?
Positives. Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. It's always nice to see black people getting together and not fighting, like dancing and laughing and drinking and no fist fighting. Nobody got shot. That was good. There was a gun involved, but nobody got shot. But that's always a good thing, right?
Yet,
Yeah.
yet.
Um. Let's see. I I did actually enjoy that part of it, like the dancing and the especially with was it cha cha slide? No, like what was the other dance?
I feel like it was
They were
Cha Cha.
doing, yeah,
I thought Cha Cha.
yeah, that was nice. I enjoyed that because that's what we do. We do the the dancing, and having a good time, and um, it was I think this was a filler episode. Um, so it didn't really give you a lot this episode. I didn't feel like, um, but I could say it was a it was an okay episode. Like I don't really have any serious negatives about it.
What?
Well, I have a couple. Like you
Positive.
know what I mean? Like
Positive. So I want to start with Papa. I want to start with Papa. I
okay,
loved
it's
I
fine.
love Papa. I love Papa and
That's a
Kenya
positive. Yeah.
in this episode. I really love the fact that he stood up for the lady that he's interested in.
Yes. Yes.
That was an awesome scene because it was realistic.
Yes.
Like to your point of black folks fighting, I was like, are we gonna have this man whooping someone's ass in Smokies because he couldn't get his order? And like Papa comes out and talks to him because that's who Papa is,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
de-escalates the situation, gets him to apologize to Kenya. And I'm like, that makes sense because if Papa would try to step to him like he was gonna try to intimidate him, I'm like, that's not Papa. Let's not do that.
But that's what we normally do, right? We even that's not good customer service in the first place. But somehow when I mean sometimes when they hire some people, they don't realize that what Papa did, that's actually excellent de-escalation protocol. That's what you're supposed to do. Your voice is supposed to be lower or even tone. It's never supposed to get higher or lower, right? So what Papa did, absolutely what you're supposed to do. De-escalate the situation and but I think that a lot of people didn't feel like it was realistic because of the world we live in right now is I'm just going to shoot you in the face and move on, right? No matter whether you're being calm or not, which is
Yeah,
horrible to say, right? Because it's food, people. It's not something that you need to be shooting someone for. You know what I mean? But that's why people don't think, from what I've seen in reviews and things like that, people are like the commenters are like that wasn't a realistic scene, which is a shame that it's not,
right.
you
What does
know.
that say about us?
Yeah,
There we go.
exactly.
He would have
Yeah,
shot Papa because the man
right.
comes in that kind of mad. It's the Chicago. It's
Yeah,
black folks. He would have shot. He would have shot Papa,
yes,
and
yes,
that's a damn shame, y'all. That's how we see ourselves. But let's focus on this fake show and that it
yeah.
led to a de-escalation of the situation. Again, he
Mhm.
apologized, which to me, that's the part that was like not realistic. A man that was disrespecting Kenya the way he was off the jump would not
Yeah.
be like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I
No, no,
understand.
no,
Like,
no, no.
like that's
Mm-mm.
not realistic. But
Mhm.
that led to her going, you stood up for me. Right. Like, and I was like, oh, Papa has an opportunity here. Like, it's like, oh, do you want to go out and go bowling? He was like, and then why did Lena Waithe do this to Papa? Why did like yeah,
Because
let
he
me
wanted to reflect the fact that he is still a child. Like he really is, and he's respectful child because he was like, okay, well, I got to tell my mom, I got to ask my mom, and that's a sign of a respectful child, right? He understands that because of what age he is, he has to ask permission to do things, right? So that shows Papa is still a kid who has to answer to someone, right? That's what Shalina was showing. That's and I got that.
And I'm like, give this man a break. Like, let her be like, because again, she knows he's underage, and she dropped him off at his house, which is his parents' house, like last week. Like, also last week, they discussed that they're both PKs, like preacher's kids, right? So you already know where he gets this calm demeanor from, this everything's gonna be all right from. Like, you should know that. But I mean, her disappointment when he had to run down his parental situation, I was like, sorry, Papa. Sorry, Papa. Like this ain't gonna work. But I was rooting for him. I was rooting for him. I mean, and I still am. I still am.
No, I think he's actually gonna go out with her, and he's gonna break curfew. Like, right? We know he's gonna break the rules, right? For her, he's gonna do it, and I think that that's normal. That's what teenagers do, right? They have to. They have to see, can they get away with it? You know, so it's a good thing that they're gonna have him do that. But unfortunately, when we get to predictions, I still feel the same way about Papa's character. I don't.
Yeah, I know, but there's a lot of characters we feel this way about. And that will lead to my other positive, which was Darnell. I like Darnell trying to be a father to his son for his son. Finally, you know, like and stand up. And again, it's a couple of things, right? Not only was he per se trying to look out for his son, but also his own ego. Like, I'm not gonna let somebody else try to be a daddy to my son, you know, type of thing too. But anyway, Darnell calling Douda a fake ass Billy D. Williams was hilarious.
That was funny.
But Kim, how do you feel about this confrontation?
I loved it. It doesn't, you know what? Maybe it matters to some people, but I feel like he is stepping up. Like, Darnell hasn't been the greatest dad, right? But he's still alive and kicking. So he has every right to try to redeem himself with his child. He has every right to protect his son, right? No matter what. And that's what Darnell was doing. When you see your child going down the wrong path, that's your job, is to step in and be like, wait a minute. You're not good for my child. I think you need to stay away. This is not a good, you know what I mean? Like, so Darnell was absolutely perfect in this scene. And I like that they kind of lightened it up a little bit with saying he was a fake Billy D. Williams, because that was funny. But this is a funny part for me. Who really gets that reference in this age right now? Nobody, but somebody my age.
Yeah.
You know,
But that fits Darnell, who is my age.
Yeah.
Technically, it's actually my age, and this man's acting like he's in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? But that fit him. Like, that would make sense that he would say that, right? Yeah. But no, the reason. So I love the scene too. But you were talking about this. This is putting him on the list of not making it this season. Is what I'm saying. Like,
that's what I feel. I feel like if Douda feels like Darnell is getting in the way of him, between him and Emmett, Douda's gonna take Darnell out. And that may lead to Douda being handled, right? But because Emmett is, no matter what, Emmett has always shown that he loved his dad. Even though his dad wasn't there for him, he didn't stop. Doesn't mean that he didn't love him. Emmett always, you could always tell that Emmett was like, why won't you just be a dad? Because he loves him, you know. He didn't. And so I was like, I just feel like Darnell may attempt to hurt Douda, and it's gonna backfire, and they're gonna kill Darnell. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna come up to Douda again. Get away from my son. Leave my son alone. And Douda's just gonna be like, bam, that's it. It's over.
So we said the same thing last week about Papa's dad, right? That, like, you know, for Papa's dad kind of stand up to Douda, right? And then we're kind of saying, well, the fact that they oddly introduced Papa's mama all of a sudden, like this could be because Daddy's about to go, and then they want you to know Papa's still gonna have a parent.
Mm-hmm.
The realtor, we talked about the realtor, kind of you know, going against what Douda said to Emmett about the whole, maybe your woman should be involved. We thought he was gonna get his ass whooped. So maybe there's all kinds of people we think Douda might put a lot of people Douda might put his hands on. So it's interesting that didn't happen though. So maybe they're trying. Maybe they realized they went a little bit too far in episode 1, and maybe they're trying to like dial Douda back to somewhat reasonable.
Yeah,
you know, and now he don't just beat up everybody for disagreeing with him. But I do want to see where it goes. I thought it was kind of interesting that Emmett and Keisha are in bed talking about how they've progressed or they're matured past, their Malaysia, and Emmett's friend, right? But Emmett is steadily lying to his girlfriend, not his wife, to his girlfriend about the gun that's supposed to be sitting next to him. So you really haven't matured, and you haven't.
Well, I think what they were talking about, because even my sons have said this in the past, that you do, after a while, you do mature past the people you went to high school, elementary and high school with, right? Sometimes they stay, like my son, when he was like 21 or something like that, he went back to Maryland and tried to hang out with the guys he went to high school with, right? And he was like, he came back and he was like, I don't know these guys anymore. Like their journey is not my journey anymore. And hanging out with them is like, why am I still, because they haven't evolved. They're still the same guys from high school. And I think that what Emmett and what Keisha was saying is that, see, Emmett and Keisha are now in this serious relationship, right? And they feel like, because they're parents now, their world is now children and cleaning and cooking and that kind of thing. And when Keisha was hanging out with whatever that girl's name is, because her name's Kalasia. Why is her name Kalasia anyway? Like why? But I feel like the things that she was talking about are not things that Keisha is concerned with or would even ask someone else at this time in her life. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a maturity thing. What the girl was asking her is something that you just don't come out and ask people. Like you know what I mean? Like why would you,
So I hear you if Emmett. So these are two. So Keisha has matured. Like she was never really immature per se, but she has matured. But I think Malaysia, I think that was the friend that came to see her after she was saved from being kidnapped. The one that was doing her hair and started talking about how her boyfriend wanted to have a threesome and some other silly shit. Like, I think this is a friend is relative, but I think that's the character. I think they kind of brought her back. But anyway, my point is Malaysia is a soon-to-be mother, likely probably teenage mother, I don't know if she know who her daddy is, but somehow that wasn't even asked. But I'm like, these are things that Keisha should understand, right? Like they could have had a different conversation. Like both of them are mothers, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they could have made them more, they're not that far apart. Like Malaysia asking about rent and like owning and that sort of thing. I understand they're trying to show her to be immature, and I get that, but Keisha's not really that far off from her. But Emmett is definitely not the mature man he acts like he is. He told Kevin, if I had my own place, I'd be fucking. He's still Emmett. He's still Emmett. Let's not do this.
But that is but Emmett was Kevin's age just a little while ago, and that makes sense to tell someone Kevin's age. Yes, I'd be fucking, absolutely. So, why shouldn't he tell him that?
Emmett,
that's what men would talk about.
That's not mature if you're trying to be the Braden that I know Chris is talking about how they're trying to make Emmett the new Braden, like to Kevin.
Yeah, but I don't think Braden wouldn't say that. I believe a guy would say that to another guy. If I got my own place, that's what young people want, is to be able to have the freedom to bang and have parties.
Emmett, 3 kids into this, only with not with any of those baby mamas, should be mature enough to give him to be like, you need to do better than me. I'm just saying, Emmett, it was I don't believe it. Like, I'm sorry, like Emmett is still Emmett. Okay, I mean he's still lying to the woman he's with. I almost thought he was trying to get with Tiffany, with the whole.
Hey, that's coming. That's coming.
See,
I saw it when they was in the house. This is where Emmett's gonna make his mistakes. Okay, when Emmett was in the house with Tiffany, and they were saying goodbye to their house or whatever. First off, I didn't understand why Keisha wasn't there.
Right.
I was like, why? And then why did Tiffany need to come to the house to get her stuff? Very easily, they could have packed up her stuff and drove it over there. He has to go get EJ at some point, right?
Well,
they did that on purpose to have Tiffany and Emmett alone. So that you could see that look in their eyes, like we should bang.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's still there. It's still there.
As I said, Emmett ain't that much mature, but I mean he just got his own house
Tiffany. Neither has Tiffany.
And not as Tiffany. I mean, I'm saying, but anyway, I thought Alicia should ask Tracy about Quentin's death since they had a child together. Douda will probably piss off Tracy, and Tracy will tell Alicia that Douda took out Quentin. That's true. She does know that. That's true. Tracy does know that. That's right. So that may be how they tied that together. But to your point, DeMarcus, like now that Alicia is all of a sudden introduced into this story, and she's a sister of Quentin, that means her nephew was murdered in season 1. We're gonna forget the fact that Quentin, raped poor Tracy for after she was sold to him. So we'll just say that somehow they were just co-parenting. But she should be talking to him. It was the wobble dance.
That's it. Thank you, DeMarcus.
Thank you, DeMarcus. We got this episode was kind of reminding me of the block party episode from season 1. Yeah. This
and that was a filler. That was a filler too, right?
Well, I feel like this should have been like that. Chris says this show always ends with like a party or a wedding. He said something to that effect. And I felt like this would have been that season finale thing. Like we've done all the major stuff we need to do. Now we're just enjoying ourselves, and Emmett and Keisha are trying to go to the next stage in their life or whatever. But like we're just trying to get into the drama of what's going on. So I can see that like this may not be the time for this.
I think this is the calm before the storm, right?
We hope so. I believe the gun that Douda gave Emmett has Quentin and Dev's body on it. That would be interesting. That would be also, but this goes to my other problem right now, right? Like there's a lot of public service announcements in this show. How about we get to what is Douda's true sinister plan when it comes to Emmett? He's putting too much into Emmett, and none of us believes he just wants to make Emmett a better man. Like,
no.
What are you trying to achieve? Big picture, and how does Emmett going to help you achieve it? Like we know none of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So at least we like. I need that. I don't need another episode where a black man is complaining that he can't smoke weed in the house. Fuck. Like this is like the fourth time we've seen this stuff. Shad was like, I can't smoke weed in my house.
Oh yeah.
Darnell asked him, you can't smoke weed in your house? Then in this episode, it was, hey man, did she let you smoke weed in the house? Then they get to Keisha's house, and it's like, you gotta go outside and smoke the weed. Fuck. Like, let's move on. Let's move on to another storyline, please. Like, I'm tired of this shit. I really am. But anyway, Jada should have been worrying about him. Yes, dealing with Douda. Yes, instead of hooking up Tracy with a man. So this is I like that.
That's true. That's true, DeMarcus. I didn't understand why Jada had no conversation with Emmett about this house. Like that's weird, right?
As we talked about last week, it should have been Jada there. Mama, I want to buy a house. What do you think, Mama? Like that was his go-to mentor when it comes to this for everything.
Yes.
Because I mean, she raised him.
Yeah.
So and then like, when all of a sudden did Tracy and Jada become such great friends, and all of a sudden her sex life is Jada's main effort or main concern, excuse me.
Well, she's known Jada like since they were young.
But again, who she's sleeping with or not sleeping with should not be Jada's concern. Like because Nina and Dre, for example, or Nina is like, what's going on with my child? Like she's acting the way Jada should be acting to an extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's true.
Like Nina makes sense, even though she's annoying as fuck. You know what I'm saying? She's doing too much. And
I keep and what bothers me about Nina is why do we get the same scene every freaking episode? Dre has to talk her off the ledge seriously. It's like I don't want to see that scene anymore. I don't want Dre to be like, it's gonna be okay, babe. It's fine. This is what they're doing. No, for one, I'm not, and then I'm not saying this in a bad way. Dre is not a mom. She is a stepmom, basically, right? So she and I'm not saying that in a bad way, but what I'm saying is that she shouldn't have to tell you how to be a mom. This is ridiculous.
Or I would say, so I was actually going to bring that up last video because I throughout the series, I feel Jada, again, how they write the characters, right? Like Dre, I keep mixing them up. Dre is very standoffish, right? Because it's not her children. Like at some point, Nina is like, I gave birth to these kids. Like these are my kids. So like she's much more emotionally committed to these kids, which you can see than Dre is, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can see why she's like, oh, my children don't need me anymore. But again, she has a job. Like, it's not like she's a housewife. I mean, you never see them work anymore, but you know she has a job. Like, there's something more to her life than her children, right? But like, I like what she said to Keisha, though. She's speaking knowledge to Keisha. You are not married. What happened? There's no legal anything binding you together, but you got your name on this house. You're helping raising his 3 kids, even though only one was at that house. And I will discuss that before this video's over because that upset me. Anyway, but I'm like, she's speaking knowledge. She like, what are you doing with this? Like, where are you going with this? And like you said, once he fucks Tiffany again, and he will, you know, what I'm saying? I'm like, and then what you gonna do? Then what you gonna do? Why were Shad and Peaches eating at Smokey's before Emmett's housewarming? They were just hungry, bro. I mean, I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, if it starts at 4 and it's 12 o'clock, I mean, you get something to eat and then you go to the party. I mean, I don't know. He left the child in charge though. Marshawn saying when a woman takes care of a man is a form of reparations was insane and hilarious.
Yeah, he's not the authority on anybody's that's what always happens. The people who are in a terrible relationship or in a controlling relationship or something like that always give other people relationship advice. It's like Steve Harvey when he wrote that book, He's Just Not That Into You. Steve Harvey's been married 4 times, 3 times, 4 times, whatever. And none of his marriage were good. And right now he's almost getting a divorce right now. So it's like, dude, you haven't gotten it together your damn self. For you to be telling people what they should be doing in a relationship, I need to see you married for like 40, 50 years. Then you can tell me how to have a successful relationship or marriage. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't know why Peaches was even in this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love D-Ray, but I'm like, this character is just not needed.
Necessary.
It's not necessary. No.
I felt like his conversation and Shad are just many examples where like Lena Waithe, like straight men aren't portrayed well in this show. Like, and then I mean they're often, like Kevin pointed out to Emmett. Emmett has been living off women for a good part of his life. You know what I'm saying? Like women are always taking care of these men, and I'm like, and like and Marshawn is an example of that. Shad is definitely an example of that. And I'm like, do better. Like it just irritates that these characters and the position that they're in just irritates me. Kevin only waved at Nina from across the room because Nina was sitting with the creditor Dre. That just run down home. Yeah. Who was that kid who was that? Who was that? The kid that Dre ran down the kid. Who was that? When Dre says that dude owes me money.
Oh, she said that. I thought she said that was her cousin, her little cousin.
I thought I didn't know who that person was. I personally know who that person was.
She said something about she said something about little cousin or something like that. And he owes her money. He owes her money.
Oh, but again, Kevin, as Dre pointed out, he's with his friends. You know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to play mommy right now or whatever. He's trying to act like he grown because he's an underage kid in his own apartment. So, I mean, that just makes sense. Darnell should have told Emmett that he took the gun out of the night. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. You go to my bedroom, motherfucker, and it starts, and then you realize he had to go through everything, right? It's not like he saw him put the gun in the drawer. You know what I'm saying? Like he went
through everything. Yeah.
He had to search the whole damn room to find that gun.
Right.
Also, I know they only show 2 children. Emmett has 4 of them fuckers. The reason, I mean, between the 2 of them, the reason I bring this up is because 2 of them are walking age. All right. His 2 older children, okay, I can get into shit. Like that gun easily could have got taken out, as we saw on Average Joe. They could shoot each other. They could shoot the parents. Like
that's what I thought. That's where I thought it was going. I thought Keisha's son was gonna go in there,
he's too young for that.
Or EJ, whatever. EJ could have went in there and got the gun. That's what I thought was gonna happen. That one of the children was gonna go in the room and get the gun and then and shoot someone
Yeah.
or bring it out at least, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't think that they were going to go the way that they went with Darnell getting the gun. I knew Darnell was going in that room because he looked at the room,
Yeah.
and then I knew he was going in there. But I didn't. I was like, I don't know if I would have just went through stuff looking for it. I just would have asked Emmett, what did he give you? What's going on between you and Duda? But they wanted to do it a different way. So.
And how did they bring the kids and to make the kids relevant? Because you know me, when I was watching this episode, I was like, where them damn kids? And for the record, Tiffany has had this car for a couple of episodes for the sole purpose, supposedly, of taking care of EJ. You've never seen until this episode. You never see EJ in the car, and this all boils down to the music he listens to. Because somehow it just comes down to I heard it on the radio, which is a real thing. It's a real thing. I know it's a real thing. Of kids, they hear songs around things, they repeat stuff whether they know what it means or not. And I was like, but this is how we bring the kids into this story, as opposed to, hey, other two baby mamas, they see the house that their children are going to spend time at. We still haven't had Keisha sit down with all three baby mamas and say, this is how we're going to co-parent as a community that Emmett has created. Like, it's not just us four trying to take care of EJ. Okay, it's six of us trying to take care of all four of these children. And we still have not done this. Like, kill these kids off. Like, I don't want it to happen, but just do something. Or move. Like, hey, since Emmett is big baller now, he pays for his baby mamas and kids to move to California or something. Like, give me a reason why these kids aren't there, and I will be okay.
That was another thing too. So he does have two baby mamas, and you mean to tell me that Tiff, just because she's the ex-wife, doesn't mean that she deserves a car? What about the other two? What about, are they struggling every day to get the babies from back and forth to school and doing other stuff? They might need a car too. I was like, well, why is she so special? She gets a damn car. I was like, this makes no sense.
Because she's the one he's married. She's the one he really wants to be with. The other two were just something he was doing. That's clear. I mean, the way they write.
Well, yeah, we saw that, like, I would say season 4. Remember when he sat down with one of them and she was going on a date and Emmett was there to babysit? Remember they had the conversation? Yeah, their relationship was never really like love. It was about sex. Yeah. They had, and she got pregnant. So and that was the only baby mom we really got an insight in next to Tiffany, because the other one we really didn't get an insider in at all. So,
and ironically, Tiffany was the one he was denying since season 1.
Yeah. And
so I was like, I don't know. Tiff is becoming very understanding this season. I'm rooting for Tiffany. Team Tiff. Understanding of what?
What? Because she was not understanding. I thought she flew off the handle when I didn't. Okay, this is the thing. Keisha's character is kind of, she contradicts herself. She'll say to Emmett, you need to talk to Tiffany about blah, blah, blah. Then when Emmett is talking to Tiffany about it, she jumps in it. Look, understandably, that is his baby mama. That is their kid. Allow them to parent the kid. Understandably, that your kid is there too, and your kid is hearing the curses or whatever. But don't jump in it when Emmett is trying to stress what the problem is. Because you just make what happens is the reason why what happened is because you should have kept your mouth shut. Tiffany knows they showed the next scene. Tiffany was in the car. EJ's back there cursing. She was like, no, we switching the channel. She knew what Keisha was saying was right. But the way Keisha jumped in like that, it was like, no, bitch, I'm not going to let you have this. You know what I mean? Like, that's what women are. So I was like, but Keisha does that all the time. Every time she tells Emmett to change something between Tiffany and him, then she jumps in it. Stop doing that. The relationship he has with Tiffany and his child is not something for you to jump in. Privately, say what you got to say to Emmett. That's fine. But when the people are standing right there, when Tiff is right there, and her man is right there, shut up. That's not your place.
But again, Emmett not being the mature person he act like he is, he's like, can you take care of it? Like, no, you're a grown man. You need to be a father.
Yes.
Like, go do that.
Yes.
Let's talk about Nook. So again, this irritates me. Like, they want us to forget that Nook was a sex trafficker?
I think so. Let me tell you how high-headed I was about this whole thing. I was like, who is this nigga? I'm sorry. I said it. I was like, who is this dude?
Nook? 5, 10, 15. Nigga was said 17 times in this episode. At least. I counted. There's a lot of niggas. Anyway, Nook, go,
please stop trying to make it seem like Nook is a regular average dude. He is not. He is a sex trafficker. He beats women. He kills people. Now all of a sudden he's kind and concerned about what happened to Keisha, and he's calm. He talks calmly to everybody. That is not even who he is. When did y'all change the character?
You know what? But okay, so Nook is gonna give up Douda. I think it's gonna be Bakari. I think it's gonna be Bakari. That makes more sense because Bakari not wanting to be a part of Douda trying to intimidate like Papa's dad. I think Nook is too hardcore. Nook is about this life. Like that's not gonna happen.
He was about to shoot Darnell.
He was. But anyway, so Kim, that scene of Nook talking to Keisha, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was conflicted because part of me has always said this dude made no effort. One, he apologized for not picking her up, right? So I actually, minus what he does to make money, right? I respect that. I actually he was like, I acknowledge that, if I would have did that, then you would have been fine. Unlike the women I'm sex trafficking in the very house I was supposed to pick you up from. But anywho, but then he does it, but then we don't get the Keisha going, but you didn't even come look for it. If we're going to go down this road, you didn't even come look for me. You almost killed my brother when he came looking for me. Like, there's so many things that was unsaid that we could have wrapped up in this thing. Besides the fact that he's a sex trafficker, which again, are we truly acting like he didn't do that shit? Like, I'm like, I don't even understand what we're trying to do with this fucking character. But that's the same thing we say about Bakari when we get to Bakari. So I want to do Bakari because that also upset me. Because Lene is like, yeah, I know he almost killed Jake, but he saved Jake's life, so it's fine. He killed Ronnie. He shot that man in the back of the head and just walked away.
Yeah, he did.
He's a murderer. He already is a street nigga, as said phrase. Like, he is one. Not he may be one, but she's like, well, he just almost killed Jake. What's the big deal? He also caused the miscarriage. Like, this also happened. But like, he's a murderer. Like, he's legit murderer.
But you got to remember, she's a teenager. And if you tell a teenager, don't do this, don't go to that person, you're not in love with that person, that's not the person for you, he's a street dude, he's this, he's that, what do? They gravitate more to that person. And that's what they're showing.
True. So again, like, I would understand that if he wasn't already a murderer. Like, I would totally be like, he's the bad boy that you like, but you ain't supposed to like. Like, I would get that.
But does she know that he killed Ronnie? Because she wasn't on the show yet. Remember, she wasn't on the show yet.
I'm saying, but somebody needs to remind her. Like,
but I don't think so. I don't think she knows that he actually killed Ronnie.
To your point, somebody should remind her at this point, just to be like, he murdered the dude. Just in this case, you didn't know, you weren't there, right? I'm just saying, the writers are humanizing Nook, and he apologized to Keisha for what happened the night she got kidnapped, and Keisha forgave Nook. Nook and Keisha will hook up again. No. No, I don't see that.
Oh, DeMarcus, no, I let me tell you what's gonna happen. DeMarcus, I think me and you are thinking the same. Tiff and Emmett is gonna hook up, and Keisha is gonna hook up with Nook because Tiff and Emmett hooked up. Now, don't get me wrong, Keisha's one of those chicks that she can separate the two. So she's not in love with Nook, but she knows that'll piss Emmett off. So why not? And Nook is gonna say yes. Nook, of course, he's gonna say yes. Because the way he was looking at this, what irritated me too. I know we're not talking about Nook too, but the way he was looking at her was so sympathetic and so I'm so sorry. And I was like, oh my God, I would want to punch him in the mouth. Like, oh my God, I was so angry at that part.
He murdered that woman. Like,
yes.
he murdered the woman that was going to snitch on the sex trafficking thing when Amani was around.
Yes.
Damn it.
He's a horrible person. He's a horrible person. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Emmett and Tiff are probably going to, they're going to hook up. I don't think they're going to be a couple, but they will be fucking in that car.
Yeah.
In that car. I want Emmett to be like, hey, give me a ride home for some reason. And they fucking the same car that she and Rob did.
Yes. Like I can see, I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. And this is the thing, this is what ladies, we do this all the time. Rob, other than the fact that he sells weed and people are gonna say that's a big deal. For me, selling weed is not a big deal, especially not anymore, right? Rob is a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. He's there for EJ. Yeah. He is there for Tiffany. Yep. He is like he protects Tiffany. He protects EJ. He has a home for them.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. And guess what we do? We see a good dude and we say, you know what?
Fuck all that.
Fuck all that. No, I need a nigga like Emmett who cheats on me. That treats me bad.
But the sex is good. But at some point she's gonna be like, the sex is good, so you know. But I mean, we already had that conversation last season though. It was clear that Rob was number 2. Even he knew that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, he was, but so I'm like, it's not.
But he's still willing to be with her, even though he knows that. Think about that, man. A dude is willing to be number 2 to another dude, and he still loves you and still wants to take care of you and a child that's not even his.
It's not even his. Come on, bro. And still driving that car. Disrespect. There's no way in fuck I'm driving that car. I was like, no, no, I'm driving you around. It's gonna be my car. I don't need this man car that another man bought. Like, I mean, come on, man. That's bad. I was Brandon and Reg. We're still on the shy. DeMarcus, yeah, me too. That's a long time ago, bro. Tiff name was on the lease. That's why Tiff was there. But all that could have been done off camera. I mean,
yeah, but no. Her name was on. Okay, when you move out of somewhere, there's not a person standing there saying, "Oh, the only 2 people that can move you out is the 2 people on the lease." They did that to get Tiffany and Emmett alone together in the apartment so they could reminisce basically about the place they used to live together.
So it's interesting you bring that up, right? And I agree with you. It's interesting they didn't show the breakfast that they had together, because that I thought that's the next scene, and this is where you really see them being like, you remember that time? You remember that time?
Yes.
And you're like, uh-oh. That's where I thought that was going, and that would have been a lot more like evidence that
would have gave you more. Yeah,
they're not done with each other. They're not done with each other, and that's why I thought we were going to get after that. But I mean, truly, the closing out the apartment could have been done off camera if it didn't mean anything.
And they didn't need her. I mean, Emmett and Keisha could have moved themselves out, right? And then, this is Tiff stuff. We can take this to her house. Next time I drop off EJ, I'll take Tiff stuff to her, right? Yeah. They didn't need Tiff to come and get her stuff. Come on now.
Duda is trying to turn Emmett into Victor and Brandon before Duda took out Brandon. I mean, I get you, but again, I think we knew then what he was. He said, I'm trying to use him to expand the business. Like, we knew what he was trying to do with Brandon, and we have no idea what Duda's really crime activity is in his operation. And besides some carjacking from time to time, and we assume drug dealing. You know what I'm saying? And like we don't know how all that's connected. And again, why Emmett is so important into this thing. In the clip for next episode, Duda says he's his third love interest, played by Jill Marie Jones. That he's looking for someone to replace him after he dies. He's not too happy in being Zay or Nuck. Okay. So Emmett ate that one. Like, that's not, if he's looking for someone to replace him, I mean, he needs to have Bakari. I mean, Bakari's really about that life.
If anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Bakari.
It's Bakari. And also, again, women, like, let's make some better decisions. When a man tells you several times, I don't want a regular job, walk away from this dude. Unless you're just ready to see this man in jail or be injured by his decisions. You can't be like, oh my God, I realized that my street dude is actually a street dude. Like, I mean, she's like, do better. He's like, I'm not. No,
Shad is definitely going backwards. He's gonna go backwards. He's absolutely gonna start working for Duda.
Oh yeah, too. Yeah.
You can't tell me that he's not.
Yeah. Well, so Bakari was very clear. Like, when Lene was like, "Come on, let's do better," and he's like, "I don't want to do better."
Yeah,
and
but you got to remember too that atmosphere he's being raised in is not telling him that a regular job is going to get him what he needs. He wants the quick money, which is what happens to all of our young men who are around these drug dealers. They want the quick money. Quick money is better than slow money, right? And I don't get the mentality, because I'm like, what's the difference? Like, going to a job and working hard for your money, there's nothing wrong with that. But taking it from people, or selling drugs, doing all these different things, it does get in your pocket quicker. But how does it make it better? You didn't really do anything for that money. Like, there's no sense of accomplishment. Like,
well, you can feel accomplishment. You don't feel the cops around you all the time. Like, I mean, I would rather not just drive around thinking I'm about to be pulled over and arrested every 5 minutes. Like, it's that part.
Yeah, but they don't think like that. They're thinking, it's me. I can work the cop. Like, I can get out of this. That kind of mentality. Yeah.
Just be smart. I think Duda wants to turn Emmett into a gangster so he can take over for him. Which was give him the gun. I mean, again, we all agree that's not Emmett. Like, no one has ever said that about
Emmett. Is not.
He's too soft.
At the end of the day, Emmett is he is a softie. That's what I was gonna say. Emmett cares. He feels. He doesn't want to hurt people. Don't get me wrong. He hurts women as far as their heart. But he would never like put his hands on a woman or shoot people just to shoot them,
Yeah. I mean, that's not him. That's what I'm saying. Like, even in this episode, he was like, that's why I turned to a ladies' man, because I didn't have a lot of male role models. I got pushed around and that sort of thing. So even in this episode, we've already defined that he, even to his maturity, the way he was playing with a real gun, I'm like, you are a child. Like, you are a child. Like, I'm like, this. You can't go from that to some of these people they just haven't moved up like we did. No, you just moved to the west side. That's all you did. Like you got, and that's because of another man helped you do it. And I was like, so I don't know about that. I feel like Marshawn is Lena Waithe's interpretation of the red pill community. I do not know what that means.
I don't know what that is either.
But please explain. Darnell, Rob, and Nook are gonna take out Duda. Darnell, I can understand. Rob, I can understand. Nook is committed. Like, again, Bakari, Darnell, Rob, and Bakari makes sense, especially if Duda kills Papa's dad. If he kills or hurts Papa's dad, if he hurts Papa's dad in some kind of way, I can see Bakari turning on him, and that would be good, because like right now he's telling Lene, this is who I am, right? Like I'm committed to this, right? So that would probably make him like wake up and go, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that would be interesting. I mean, they don't have to kill Papa's dad, but if he puts him in the hospital.
Well, something's gonna happen, because in the previews you can see that there's a crowd of people in front of Papa's house.
Oh, really?
So it's either that Papa has something happened to Papa, or his mom, or even his dad. I'm thinking more so his dad. Yeah. I still have that feeling that they're building Papa up, which is what they do with characters, and then you know what I mean? Like, he may step in front of his dad.
We've been saying this for a little bit. I mean, we said Bakari. We said Bakari is going to be the reason Papa gets murdered, right? We said that.
Yeah.
I hear you. I still feel like Lena understands that Papa's like the moral compass of this show. Like, but like dad easily can be taken off. Dad can easily be taken off the table. And it's tragic, but now we got a mama. Also, apparently Nina and Dre like to adopt random children. I mean, Papa can move in with them. I mean, and also, did you fast forward?
I mean, Papa has a mom, so no.
Well, I'm saying Mama is there, but Mama wasn't there. Of the characters that we know, I'm saying Nina and Dre easily could adopt Papa, or he can move in with his friend Kevin until he finds out that Kevin is with Maisha. And then that becomes a thing. So why didn't we see that kind of develop at the party? I thought he and Maisha would start dancing, or at least go off and start talking. Like, it would just.
Well, remember, she put the brakes on that. She was like, no, not right now. I'm not for this right now. Remember, she did like the episode before, or before that, the one which was rapping. That episode, she was like, no, we can't, not right now. Like, I don't have time for that type of thing right now. So he's looking at her from afar because she's not allowing him in.
Okay, all right. I took it as we don't know how to define this. I can't commit to you, but I'm saying, but I'm at least willing to try to make this thing work, because he was looking at with those Google guys. Yep, there was a vibe with Nook and Keisha in this episode.
Yes, definitely. I'm telling you.
That's
it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm just saying the vibe between Emmett and Tiffany was there, and then the vibe between Nook and Keisha was absolutely there.
Oh, yeah. Red Pill Community is like Kevin Samuels. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. And again, but his character truly is unnecessary. And I don't know what we're trying to achieve with this. Anyway, fast forward to Fatima and Victor. I'm happy that they're gonna move in together. I don't know what this means. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know this might sound bad. As they're starting to have sex, in my mind, I was like, "Don't go down. Don't do that." I was, because they were getting intimate. They were getting intimate, right? And I'm like, I saw body parts moving, and I was like, "Is he gonna go down?" I mean, off camera, but I'm like, that's a penis in your mouth, bro. I mean, that's what that is. I didn't know how far.
Wait a minute, does Fatima? Well, do we even know that she still has a penis? Yes. Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a woman, that's what that means. She still has her.
Oh, okay, my bad. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just not up on the jargon. Okay, all right. So yeah, we don't. I don't think. Well, I mean, we saw this in what's the name of that daggone show? P Valley, right? We saw a full blown
not
with murder.
Not the same show, not the same. I mean, we do. I'm saying I just didn't know like they're gonna commit. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw it and I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. Because I'm like, this is not necessary.
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't think that actor, the Victor, I don't know. I think that he agreed to the kissing. I don't know if he's agreed to anything lower than that. Let's just say.
Well, again, he's not actually doing it, but it's the
but
implied.
I'm just saying the implied part of it.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but the implied part is huge, David. It's huge, right? So I'm just thinking.
It may be small. We don't know.
No. Anywho, okay. What I'm saying is, I think that the actor has agreed to do this. But I just don't think that there's certain things. I think that like women and like men, they agree to certain things that they will do and certain things that they won't do. So I'm thinking that he's agreed to the kissing and the touching, but I don't think he's agreed to anything else.
That would apply otherwise.
Yes, exactly.
I got you. I but that did cross my mind. I was like, oh shit. I was like, this could go a different direction. But anyway. It would be insane if Papa took out Douda for the death of his dad. Oh, like Sissy did Teddy over the death of Alton. That would okay. That would be something. All right, okay. I mean, that would be like almost series finale, because I mean, without Douda, this show's kind of boring. I mean,
absolutely. Douda actually makes the show. Douda is like the ghost of the show. Even you know what I mean, like without Ghost, no, Power wouldn't have worked. I'm sorry, it just wouldn't.
Well, we
needed Ghost.
Well, that's a little bit different, because like I mean it was his show, but I'm saying, but
I mean, if you really think about it, what has really been holding these last couple episodes together is Douda and his
for us. That's what I'm saying. For us, it's Douda. It's definitely Douda for me. I like Kevin and all of them, but like I can't relate to them. I mean, they are true.
But when this show first started, for me, the focus on the children, for me, was the best part of it. Like I like that this was about little kids growing up in Chicago, and then of course there's the drug dealers around. There's all these different things, but you got to know those kids. This show has changed like 4 times already. The focus of the show, and I'm like, these kids are old now, and it's like I get that they're gonna graduate this year or whatever, but the focus hasn't been really on them as much in like a couple of seasons now. You know what I mean? So it's
like they've expanded to more like I said, the adults have gotten more like in the forefront. I mean, like especially Keisha got kidnapped, and then that became the whole storyline, right?
And the cops are gone. We don't even have that anymore, because we used to have that.
So that's all gone. I
Yeah.
love this. Bakari will be selling Dahlia for Duda. Love it. Love
Okay.
it. I need the Flins to show up.
No, for sure something's gonna happen with Tiff and Rob and the new drugs that guy Duda is gonna end up intimidating that guy that's teaching them about the weed.
Growing his own weed.
Growing his own weed. Yep.
So again, we don't know how much of Duda's business is the weed market. We don't even know that. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, he said yes, he's selling to Rob, so Rob can sell for him, right? And then Rob said, I'm selling this stuff, but we're smoking on our own. But we don't even know how much. Like, if that guy is even a threat to Duda's overall whatever.
Yeah, but I don't think Duda would care. I think it's the point, like that Rob and Tiffany would even dare to go to another person and be smoking. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the conflict of interest. Like, you're supposed to be working for me. You don't work for anybody else. You work for me. That's just Duda being an asshole, right?
It's true. So if they showed, like I said, they spent a lot of time on that dude last episode. If Duda ends up murdering him, then that could be something. But we want more Alicia and Rob's investigation into. So I did rewatch that episode 10 of season 5 because I wanted to see what Rob knew to be true about Quentin's death.
What he doesn't, from what Nook is saying, Rob doesn't know that Duda killed his uncle.
He did. So what Nook told Rob was that your uncle's dead. He showed him a photo of Quentin in the back of a car, in the trunk of a car, and he says, "Do you know Duda?" Yes, he's going to give you a call on a secure phone. That's how he put that conversation. So I thought he said, like Duda killed Quentin. It was just Quentin's dead. Here's the proof. But to me, I was like, Alicia, you need to start with Nook. Nook, no, like you don't need to be talking. You need to tie up Nook somewhere, okay, and then go talk to Duda, and that's it. This whole, I wonder if Nook wasn't and Duda was involved. You have to believe he was, bro. I mean, Nook showed you a picture of your uncle in a trunk. So where's the body? Like if he took the body and put it into a trunk, he has to know who killed this dude.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, this Rob is not the one to do what's necessary. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think the Alicia is gonna be the one to maybe kidnap Nuck and get him to talk. Because I think that we only saw like a smidge of her power. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she knows what Quentin was. She knows what he was down with, right? That's her brother. Her brother was in jail for a long time he's a criminal, right? So I feel like Alicia's gonna be like, if Rob can't do it, I'm gonna do it myself. And she's gonna get Nook kidnapped or something, and then she's gonna find out that Duda is the one who actually killed Quentin, and she may try to kill Duda herself.
So I like it better that she's going to get some people to do it. I'm not trying to see her Alicia one like pulling down Nook and trying to interrogate him, waterboard him.
No, not like that. No. She's going to hire people to do it. I'm not saying.
Okay. All right.
Come on now, that's Lynn Whitfield. Look at her. She's not going to be getting her hands dirty.
That's what I thought you were saying. I was like, let's not do that. I was like, I don't go that far. Who's the king of Chicago, Duda or Tommy? Well, again, Chicago's a big place. A big place. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they both could have their own territories. So does Duda know about CBI, for example, and that territory? I don't know. Sonny and Alicia should team up and take out Duda since that was their brother and sister. That would be interesting because I mean, Sonny is just gone. Like there's no mention of him since he may have almost had a heart attack or some shit.
He's on Tommy's show.
That's right. He's daddy, right? Like I said, he's well, if that character comes back, because it's looking kind of suspect, whether or not daddy and brother and nephew are going to come back. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, Kate is coming. She's moving to Chicago, so daddy gotta show his face.
Last time we saw Kate, she was in New York City,
but she was moving. She had the boxes.
So now we're saying that that power.
No. They actually showed Kate. They showed Kate with her black son and with Tommy. There's a picture of them all together.
Oh, where?
In the house. in Catherine's mother's house, in the grandma's house. Yeah, there's a picture of them.
All right. We'll see. I'm saying, so if she moves there, because we saw you see me. Oh man, you saw her at the end of Power Book 2 season 3. You're saying at that moment she was moving to Chicago?
When we saw her talk to Tariq, when Tariq came to her house,
yes,
and was talking, she said, "I'm in the process of moving. Do you want something to drink?" And we saw all the boxes in her house. Remember?
Okay.
I
remember the boxes.
Tommy is moving her to Chicago because her mother's died, and guess who inherits the house?
Mama.
Daughter.
Because
she's the daughter. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So just because mom, just because Kate's there, I don't know. I still feel like Sonny and them may be suspect this season, in season 2. But anyway, we get to all that. What else? We got the kids. I am happy we're not seeing. We didn't see. I didn't see any of Gemma. I did not see Gemma in this episode.
No, I didn't. We didn't see Gemma this episode.
But you saying Jake? You said Jake was at the party.
Yeah, Jake. Okay, see where Kevin's sitting.
Yeah,
there was a scene where Jake was on one side, and then Papa was on the other side, and they were talking. But I can't remember what they were talking about. But I remember it because, like I said, he had so many pimples on his face. He like he had a massive breakout or something because his face had so many pimples, and his dreads are so long. They had him in like 2 here, but they were fat, like all his dreads together, and then one this way.
All right. So
you
know all right.
What?
So
I'm sorry. You know what, David? I'm wrong. You know what that was from? They had on the same clothes. There's a if you go on the Shy to YouTube,
yeah,
there's a scene where all of them are like what I said. They have on the same clothes as the episode where they were talking to the actual stars. Okay. That's what it's the after show. I apologize. It was like an after show clip where they were showing season 1 and they were showing them how little they were.
Okay.
That's what it is. So yeah, Jake wasn't on here. I apologize.
No, it's all good because I was like, I was hard for me to believe that he would not have lines, that he would not be because he's right. And then like if he's there, the Gemma needs to be there. And I'm like, like I was like, what? Anyway, so there's no Gemma, no Jake, and no Tracy in this episode.
No.
Even though for some reason, again, Jada is trying to get Tracy another man. She's gonna end up with Jamal. That's just how that. And Jamal's making no effort to go talk to Cherry, his ex-girlfriend, whose brother he killed. It will be a crossover with Force. Kate is coming. Blanca will be coming from. I hope. Will be coming. Got it. Hoping Junior Young and Paz is coming. You got everybody coming. So I do want to see Junior get into Chicago and try to take
down happen. And that's definitely going to happen because Rodriguez, remember, they told her to take care of the stuff in New York first, and then she could go. Her boss said she can go to Chicago after.
Yeah, Menina so you could.
Yeah, so she's going to bring Young with her, and then Paz probably is going to somehow end up visiting him or something. I don't want to see Paz, but I'm just saying.
I mean, me either. Cairo, the organic weed dealer, is in Force also as the cop Vargas.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Damn. I was like, they do keep this thing. So, of all the public service announcements this show likes to do, I did like the whole like black owned property thing. Like black people should be better at owning on property. I like that message. I like that. I'll say, I know the we thing went too far, but I like more messages like that. Also, I think since Duda brought Emmett a gun, and I truly doubt that's a legal gun. It'd be nice if we're talking about like second black people should embrace their Second Amendment rights. And like he took Emmett to a gun store to legally buy and register a gun. Like that would be a nice message, to be like, the Second Amendment applies to all Americans, and including us. But
Duda's not going to do that. Duda has to set Emmett up. He can't do it the right way. He has to do it the wrong way. That's just
so. Duda. Again, what is his master plan? Was he trying to do it? We still don't know. We still don't know. Anyway, come on, Kim. Anything else for this episode or this series?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot for the series. We already predicted that Rob and Tiff. I mean, not Rob. Emmett and Tiff is going to get it on. Keisha and Nook's gonna get some. I don't know. I feel like Kevin and Markeisha, they'll probably get together. And we'll see how that goes. Cause I don't know. I feel like I don't feel like that'll last. Because they like each other, but they like each other because they're in their head like, what if we would have got together? That kind of thing. So now they're trying to get together, and it's not going to work out because they're not getting together for the right reasons, you know. So yeah, so that's going to happen. I don't know, Keisha. I don't know. I just don't feel like Keisha and Emmett are gonna even if they forgive each other for sleeping with other people, they're not gonna be together. They're just not meant to get together because the way that they started out was she was cheating with him on Tiff.
Yeah.
Remember, so the way it started out is the way it's gonna end. It's not gonna end well. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. Tiff is never, and Keisha, they're not going to be friends ever. They're just. I feel like Keisha is going to have to leave the area in order to move her life forward. I don't think she can stay there, and I think she's the only one that can do that. I think she's the only one that's strong enough to be able to just leave the entire area and with her son and start a new life. That's how I think her ending is going to go. And then Emmett is going to end up with Tiff. They're going to end up in the house. I don't know about that house, but I think if Emmett is still alive at the end of the show, those two are going to end up together, like remarried and all of that. Rob, I feel like is going to die. One, because he's an NBA star and he has to go play basketball. So I don't think he's going to be on this show that much longer. I think they're going to actually have to kill him off, and to get rid of him. But I have enjoyed him. I really have. I think he's a pretty good actor for someone who this is not their craft. Like he's an NBA player, but he did a good job. So, and then I don't know, Jay and Darnell. I thought they were cute this episode. I did. I'm loving the older people getting married and still showing they love each other. And so because I didn't think that was going to work out, but it seems to be working out, which is good. So yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's entertaining. That's really what it is. But this show it's not the show that I used to watch. It's just not.
After all these seasons, they're trying to change, whether good or for the bad. They're trying to. At least it's not necessarily a formula, so that's good. That's one part. You don't feel like it's the beats like every season. So they're trying to do new things. Is that some of the directions that they go were like, why are you doing this? And Rob could just not be there anymore. The way the show works, he could just not show up to work, and they'll just keep it moving. Like,
he works for himself, so
I'm just saying they could just be like, hey. Off camera, Rob decided to move to Miami because he realizes that Tiffany is always going to love Emmett, and that's a lot. And we will never see this. He'll just be gone. And now
they could do that. They could do that, but I think for the drama of it, because he's going to find out that dude that killed his uncle. I think they have to make it dramatic. It's probably going to be Nuck who has to kill Rob.
Okay. All right. So that'd be interesting if we pull that together. Anything else?
No, that's it. Let's see.
All right, man. Thank you very much. We will see you next week. Boop. All right, everyone. I will say goodbye. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us this weekend. We got a lot of stuff coming next weekend. So we got Lace season 2 on All Black coming. We got Ritual Killer, which is a movie with Rip. The actor who plays Rip on Yellowstone. That's gonna be hilarious. We thought that movie was hilarious. We got The Chi coming back. We got All the Queen's Men. So play content here on this channel for next weekend. See you then. And again, have a great week. And I hope everybody has fun doing something that they enjoy.